From Neural Newscast, this is Deep Dive, exploring the moments that shape today.
Hello and welcome to Deep Dive. I am Claire Donovan.
And I'm Frederick Moore. Today is March 15th, 2026, a date that for over 2,000 years has carried a unique weight in our collective memory. Most of us know it by a specific, somewhat ominous name, the Ides of March.
It is such an infamous date, Frederick, primarily because of what happened back in 44 BC. That was the day Julius Caesar, the dictator of Rome, was stabbed to death by a group of conspirators right in the middle of the Senate House. It was a brutal end for a man who had effectively dismantled the Roman Republic. Ironically, his death actually accelerated the very thing his assassins feared most, which was the rise of an absolute empire.
Exactly. The conspiracy was led by Marcus Junius Brutus and Gaius Cassius Longinus, involving about 60 senators in total. They genuinely believed they were saving the Republic from a tyrant. But when we look back, Caesar's assassination didn't restore the old ways. It created a massive power vacuum that led to years of bloody civil war. It is arguably the most famous political assassination in history, immortalized by Shakespeare and studied by every generation since.
Right, but there is a layer to this date that often gets completely overshadowed by the blood on the Senate floor. Before it was a day of betrayal, the Ides of March was actually a day of massive celebration. In the earliest Roman calendar, March 15th was the first day of the new year. It corresponded with the first full moon of the year, which makes perfect sense why it was treated as a time of massive renewal.
That's a fascinating distinction, Claire. The word Ides itself comes from a Latin word meaning to divide, and it was used to mark the midpoint of every month. So while we associate it with a sudden, sharp ending, for the early Romans, it was literally the midpoint of the first month and the start of a brand new cycle. It wasn't until later calendar reforms that the new year was moved to January.
It is interesting how a day that began as a celebration of new beginnings became a symbol for the end of an entire era. And as we move forward in history, March 15th continues to be a day where groundbreaking individuals were born, people who, in their own way, reshaped the world just as significantly as those ancient events in Rome.
Respectfully, authoritative, direct. One of the most influential figures born on this day was Ruth Bader Ginsburg, born in 1933. She was a true pioneer who spent her entire career as a champion for gender equality and voting rights. When she was appointed to the Supreme Court in 1993, she became only the second woman to ever serve on that bench and the first Jewish woman.
Frederick, her impact on American law really cannot be overstated. Long before she was known as the notorious RBG, she was arguing cases that fundamentally changed how the law viewed gender discrimination. She had this clear, steady vision for what justice should look like, often using her powerful dissents to lay the groundwork for future legal victories. She served until her death in 2020, leaving a legacy that still dominates legal discussions today.
No way is her influence fading anytime soon. And while Ginsburg was navigating the complexities of the law, another man born on this day was navigating the literal heavens. Alan Bean, born in 1932, was an astronaut who made history as the lunar module pilot on Apollo 12. In 1969, he became the fourth person to ever walk on the surface of the moon. He later went on to command the Skylab 3 mission, spending a total of 69 days in space.
I love the contrast there, one focused on the bedrock of our society here on Earth, and the other pushing the boundaries of where humans can even exist. Bean's career represents that peak era of space exploration, where every mission was a leap into the unknown. It takes a specific kind of courage to leave the planet behind and trust your life to the physics of the stars.
That's remarkable. And we have one more birthday to highlight, though this one brings us into the world of modern culture and technology. Born in 1975, we have the artist known as will.i.am. Most people recognize him as the founder and lead member of the Black Eyed Peas, winning multiple Grammy Awards for hits that dominated the charts for years.
He is more than just a musician, though, Frederick. He is also known as a major entrepreneur and a technology innovator. He is someone who has consistently looked at how digital trends can shift how we interact with art and each other. It is that same spirit of looking toward the future that we have seen in our other subjects today, whether it is legal reform, space travel, or creative technology.
From the fall of a dictator in ancient Rome to the heights of the lunar surface and the cutting edge of modern music, March 15th is a day defined by transition. It shows us that history isn't just a series of static dates, but a continuous dialogue between those who hold on to the past and those who are determined to build the future.
Thank you for joining us for this look at the Ides of March. I'm Claire Donovan.
And I'm Frederick Moore. You can find more historical narratives at deepdive.neuralnewscast.com. Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast.
This has been Deep Dive on Neural Newscast, exploring the moments that shape today.